I gave birth to a stillborn child. My husband Isaac scolded me. Is this what happens when you act so carelessly during pregnancy? No wonder you ended up with a freak of a child. I lost my baby, my reputation was destroyed, and I was forced into a divorce, leaving me with nothing. One day, I overheard Isaac talking to Maria. Lucky we swapped your stillborn with Laura's healthy baby. If your husband's parents found out, they'd know that dead baby was mine. That's when I found out. Isaac and Maria had been sleeping together the whole time. He had purposely pushed me into premature labor, just so he could switch my healthy child with hers. I confronted him, but instead of an explanation, he and Maria shoved me into the bathtub and drowned me. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day I went into premature labor. Isaac was flipping through my medical records, discussing things eagerly. Laura, my mom checked, and today's the perfect day for the baby to be born. How about we get the baby out today? I quickly tried to gather my thoughts. In my previous life, Isaac had gone out of his way to contact someone in the obstetrics department. He stayed with me the whole time, making sure to swap my child with Maria's. If I could avoid his contact, maybe I could save my baby. Worried he might notice something was off, I pretended to go to the bathroom and slipped downstairs. To my surprise, I ran into Isaac in the emergency room, rushing around. I followed him quietly, seeing him talk to a nurse. Nova, we are cousins. If I hadn't given you $200,000 to help you get into the hospital, you wouldn't have had a chance. Don't forget that favor. That woman, always acting like she's in charge because she makes money. If she gives birth, her money and property will go to that little bastard. I'll have to serve her for the rest of my life with nothing to show for it. Her baby's position is wrong. I'll push her a bit to make her labor difficult. Nova, you need to make sure she doesn't make it to the operating table. Isaac's cruel words made my heart ache as if it had been torn apart. Isaac had no education and no family background. His parents were either gambling or alcoholics. I had fallen for him because of his looks and had given up everything. When he said he didn't want a job that paid $3,000 a month, I worked hard to support him while he managed the house. But managing the house meant he did nothing all day but play games and watch movies. I worked all day and still had to come home and cook for him. Last year, when I found out I was pregnant, he asked for $200,000 to insure the baby, and I gave it to him. I didn't know he was using that money to get Nova into the hospital and set everything up a year in advance just so I would die on the operating table. I tried to suppress my anger and planned to leave, but Isaac caught me. Let's go, honey. I've already arranged the ward, and we're going for the C-section this afternoon. By the way, our neighbor Maria lives next door. You two might end up giving birth around the same time. Back in the room, Isaac walked in carrying fruit. My palms were sweating from nervousness. Isaac said, "Honey, that's too much fruit. Could you send some over to Maria? Since we're neighbors, it'd be nice to share." I remembered the same moment from my previous life. Isaac had asked me to deliver fruit to Maria, but I ended up running into Maria's husband, Hugh Watson. Hugh was a sailor, often away for long stretches. Isaac had taken advantage of Hugh's absence to sleep with Maria, and when Hugh came home 2 months later, Maria was already pregnant. To avoid raising suspicion, they delayed the birth until now, even though Maria's due date had been last month. They both knew the truth. The baby in Maria's womb had died from lack of oxygen. They needed to swap my healthy baby with hers, or Hugh would definitely get suspicious if she gave birth to a stillborn. When I went to deliver the fruit, Maria would intentionally fall and blame me. Hugh had a fiery temper, and when he saw the scene, he would kick me, causing me to bleed and go into premature labor. In the chaos, Isaac would take the opportunity to steal my child. If I just delivered the fruit, I would be heading straight for the same tragic fate as last time. Okay. I tried to stay calm, took the fruit, and headed out. I knocked on Maria's door.